So whatever the Power BI components are there. So we have seen that the list of the Power BI components. So Power Query Editor, Power View, Power Pivot, Power BI Desktop, and as well as Power Q&A, which is called AI feature. Okay, Power Question and Answer, and apart from that, Power Maps, Power Mobile Apps, Power BI Services. So apart from this, we are having gateway also. So we will discuss while we are discussing Power BI services about the gateway. We'll see that going forward. Okay, but majorly you need to know these components. Okay, see these with the help of these components, whatever the architecture we did follow. Okay, so that architecture will be followed by these components. Okay, whatever the components we are discussing here means, just give me a second. See, we discussed something about the, so we have seen that what is Power Query Editor, okay, and how it will be working. We discussed about it, giving some definition about what exactly the Power Query Editor, as well as given one example table, example data for that, what exactly we are doing with the help of the Power Query. See, what is Power Query? Power Query is an ETL tool available in, say Power Query is available an ETL tool in Power BI, which will help you to analyze your data, which will help you to prepare your data as per your requirements. If you need to do any cleaning of your data, you have to do in your Power Query Editor. So it means Power Query Editor means whenever you are going to working on the data to do edit your data, to prepare your data as per your requirements, to make any one report. Okay, that exactly the Power Query Editor. And in Power Query Editor we have one language which is mashup language or M language only. Okay, so this language we can, but no need to learn this, but we have to know, no need to learn the language and all. It will be happening something the back end of the Power Query Editor, whatever the operations we are doing in the Power Query Editor, the back end something will be happens, right? So that will be M language will calling that. Okay, so that also. So and for that also we have seen that for example of the data how it will be working. Okay, it means extractions and transformation, we have seen one example for that. Apart from that, we have seen whatever the Power Pivot. Okay, see what is Power Pivot means. See in the data, okay, in the Power BI we will be working with multiple tables. Whenever we are going to working with multiple tables, okay, what we have to do, we need to do some modeling of the data. It means we have to make a relationship between the tables, that will be calling as a data modeling. Okay, so we are making some relationships between the table means. So what is relationship here? How the data tables are connected with each other, it will be defining that, that will be called as a relationship. So where will do this in our Power BI, in the component of Power Pivot. So it means what I'm trying to say is, see whatever the component is there, each and every component is having some character. It means it will be having a particular work for that. See for example, if we are building any, if we are making, if we are constructing any one building means, we need someone workers, right? Who's that? Carpenter, painter, electrician, plumber. What they will do, they will be having their own works, right? Own departments are there, own works are there. What they will do, a particular character they are having, right? Okay, the same thing in the Power BI, the components are there, those components, every component having a particular thing it is. Okay, particular work, that work we are discussing here, that only, nothing here. But and you guys are remember one thing, you don't need to learn particularly, separately. All the things are including in Power BI only. But what we are doing here means that we are seeing here. Okay, don't think that so we are having many components, we need to learn many technologies. Don't think that only one technology, all the things are included in your Power BI only. Is that clear, everyone? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So what is Power Pivot? So the Power Pivot performing as a data modeling the data in the Power BI. Okay, and here wherever we can write the DAX functions. Okay, wherever we can write the DAX functions and formulas. Okay, to create the calculated columns, to create the new measures. Okay, as well as to create a new calculated tables. So why we need to create the calculated column? What is the calculated column here? And what is the new measure? I'll let you know that while we are discussing a DAX functionalities, we'll see that. Okay, and so creating a relationships between the tables based on the common fields. If we need to build any one relationship here, okay, how to do this based on the common columns? We are going to based on the common columns we are going to discussing here, right? Okay, so now I given one example for that also. Okay, so we have seen this. We are having some table here, which is sales table and product table, customer table. Okay, about apart from the date table is there, store table. So based on the common column from the sales table and from each and every table. Okay, we have to make a relationship between them. Okay, so that will be calling as the data modeling. Okay, practically we will see that, you don't worry about it. Just I'm giving one example to understand you clearly. But about the basic thing. Okay, so first listen carefully the basics and we will start the practical things. Okay, so now we have seen that what is Power BI. What is Power Pivot and what is Power Query Editor. Now we are going to see that Power BI desktop. See, so far whatever we discussed, these all components is interacted and included in your Power BI desktop only. These all things. Okay, all the components, all things will be having in your Power BI desktop. It means if you know how to work with Power BI desktop, okay, it means if whenever you're working with Power BI desktop, this all the components will be including that. Okay, in that only. Okay, so when you are working with Power BI desktop, these all components will be covered. Okay, so now what is Power BI desktop? It is, see, the Power BI desktop, it is a major component available for the Power BI. Okay, so the Power BI desktop, it is a free application, no need to pay anyone rupee to download or to install anything. It is, see, Power BI desktop is a free application, can be installed on your PC. Screen share అవుతుందా ఇప్పుడు అందరికి? Everyone getting my
Yes,
screen
sir.
right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, fine. See, the Power BI Desktop, it is a free application. Okay, that you can install on your PC. Okay, so you don't need to pay any cost of to install that Power BI. So it is used for creating the Power BI reports and dashboards. So see, actually, the reports you can make in your Power BI Desktop itself. Okay, so that you can make it means reports and dashboards. You cannot create the dashboards in Power BI desktop, you can make a dashboards in Power BI services only. Okay, but the thing is, okay, it is used for creating the Power BI reports. Okay, the Power BI desktop you can make as a, I mean, you can make the reports in Power BI desktop. To make that reports you need some data. If you need the data, means you need to able to connect it with the different data sources. Okay, it means multiple data sources you have to be connected with that. So apart from that, you can transform and model the data using Power Query Editor. See, listen carefully here. Okay, using Power Query Editor and Power Pivot and create interactive visualizations using Power BI. It means what I told you. Whatever the components we discussed, these all components will be interactive with your Power BI desktop. I told you that, right? So these all the components will be having in including in your Power BI desktop. Means it means if you did install that Power BI desktop, okay, these all the components are available in that Power BI desktop only. Okay, and apart from that, the Power BI service is also interacted with your Power BI desktop. Okay, so that is about the Power BI desktop, and slowly we'll see that rest of the components also. Okay, so now if we see that Power BI services. See, just I given a single line definition for this. Okay, while we are discussing practically, I'll let you know that exactly. Okay, first we need to know what are the components and what exactly it is, right? So that I'm trying to say that Power BI services. So by using the Power BI services, what we can do is actually the Power BI services is help you to make the dashboards. Okay, whatever the report we did created in your Power BI desktop. Okay, from the desktop to we have to publish that report to the Power BI services. So while you are publishing that while we are publishing that Power BI report to the Power BI services, okay, including the data, the report will be publishing into the Power BI services. See, you can raise a question why we need to publish that into the Power BI services. We can make the report in Power BI desktop also. Then why? Why? Because you can make the reports in Power BI desktop. It's okay, fine. You can make. I mean, you can give the you can give the security in Power BI desktop. But the thing is, you cannot make the dashboard in your Power BI desktop. If you have to make any one dashboard, you should go to the Power BI services. Okay, if you need to make any one dashboard, you should need one report. That report you can make in your desktop itself only. Okay, so for that, once we did created the report in Power BI desktop, okay, from here to Power BI desktop to we have to publish that into Power BI services, and there we have to make a dashboard. Okay, and here we have to make the dashboard, and that dashboard we have to share to my end users. It means so you can share the data along with the report, and you can make the dashboard here, and here only you can share or you can share your dashboard and report to your end user or your business user. Okay, that exactly the Power BI services. And apart from that, if you observe that we are having that Power Maps. If you observe this, okay, see Power Maps. The Power Map is responsible for creating the interactive geographical data visualization. See, we know what exactly the maps, right? What is map? Anyone? Sorry? Yeah. Yeah, which will be giving you the information or the data about the geographical information. Okay, that we will be calling as maps. Okay, those maps also we can get from the Power BI as a visualization. See, actually, what exactly the Google Maps? Exactly. See, it will be showing the locations. Apart from that, it will be giving you the direction. That means if you need to go anywhere, it means the destination it will be showing to you, right? So, but in this, it will not giving you the destination. It will be giving you only the geographical information. Okay. So based on your data, you can get it. Okay. So those things also we can see that. And now if you if you observe that Power BI Q&A. See, the Power BI Q&A allows you to ask the questions. See, what exactly the Power BI Q&A means? It's a good feature. Okay, it's a good feature available. Which the feature is AI feature. AI feature means artificial intelligent feature. It is available in our Power BI, which means, see, if you need to know anything your data about your data, okay, if you are confusion, which one visual I have to make, how to achieve this requirement. Okay, if you have a clear picture about your requirement, you can go and ask directly to the Power Q&A, which is Power Question and Answer. As see, for example, if you're having any doubt, you're asking me, right? Yes or no? If you guys are any having the doubt, okay, you will be asking me like in natural language itself, right? Same like that, whatever the things whatever that requirement you have, if you are asking that Power Q&A, it will be giving you a prompt answer. It means, what is mean by prompt answer? Anyone please? What's mean by prompt answer? Exact answer, right? Okay, exact answer. So exact answer it will be giving to you. Okay. So in natural language, you can natural query, you can ask that in Power I mean Power Q&A. Okay, and you can get it. So that is one more component. So these are all of the components. So we discuss what exactly the basic thing about the component, what it will be do. Okay, what is the character of these components. Okay, we have seen that. Now we have to know one more thing. We have to know one more thing. Why? Because see, generally if we need to create any one single visual, what we need? Data, right? Okay, we need some data, but the end users or the business users will not store the data in the Power BI. Why? Because it's not a data storage to technology, right? It's a data visualization technology. It means where they will be storing the data will be stored in some data storage technologies, which means databases, any flat files, any cloud platforms. Okay, they will be used to these technologies to store some data. But if we need some data means, where we have to go now? Data storage. It means where the clients or where the business users have been stored the data, we have to go to there. Okay, it means we have to collect the data, we need to identify the technology. Okay, we need to identify where the data is there. So from there, okay, we have to connect the data to the Power BI. It means, why I'm saying this is, wherever the data is stored, okay, that data storage will be considered as a data source for the Power BI while you're getting the data from that. Did you got my point, everyone? It means from where you are gathering the data to the Power BI to make reports. Okay, that will be called as data source. Okay, that will be called as data source. So you know that SQL Server, right? You guys are know, right? I hope you can listen these words, right? So SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle, and Excel, Google Sheets, okay, and PostgreSQL. These all will be used to store the information. Sir, no, store the information. So it means what's mean by that? What is mean by that? So from these data sources, okay, we have not only this, we are having. See, as I told you, when I'm saying that, why the Power BI? I told you that what I told you, we are having maximum features. Okay, and then what I told you. So data connectivity mode. I mean data sources. So I can connect with the data sources around 99 plus data sources I can connect. Okay, in those, so these are the data sources. Example I'm giving here. Okay, so now we can connect multiple data sources here. Okay, now what is source? Sources are nothing but, okay, from where you are gathering the data to the Power BI to create or to make your visualizations, that will be called as data source. Okay, now in Power BI, the Power BI is having the capability to get the data from 99 plus different data sources itself. Okay, it means for that we are having some example here, which is Excel, CSV file, SQL Server, MySQL, Azure, Oracle. Not only this, we are having many data sources. It means wherever you can store your data, I can collect the data to the Power BI. I can get the data to the Power BI. I can make the visuals and reports. It means even if you stored your data in your PDF, PDF is not a storing data, right? Data storage, right? But even if you stored your data in PDF file, that data also I can load that into Power BI. That's the good feature. I mean, a beauty of our Power BI. Okay, that's why this Power BI technology is very, okay, demanding too. Okay, fine. Now Now we have seen that what is that, what are the components are there, what is the data sources. Okay, now we are going to see one more thing. See, as I told you that we need to get the data from the different data sources, okay, into the Power BI. Okay, see the technology, whatever it is, whether it is database, Excel, CSV, flat files, whatever it is, okay, those are differently, right? But the Power BI is different. Okay, it means we are having two technologies here. We are going to working on two technologies, whether it is storage or data visualization tool. But the data where is there? Where the data is there? In data source only. How we can get the data to the Power BI? Did you got my point? How we can get the data to the Power BI from the data source? That's the thing. We have to know that. See, we need to collect the data from the data source into the Power BI. So to do that, we have to make, okay, we have to make a connection between these two technologies, right? Sir, no, see, for example, see, if you have to make a, I mean, if you need to charge your mobile, what you will do? With only adapter and mobile you cannot charge your mobile, right? What you have to do? In between them we should need one connection. It means, okay, to adapter and to your mobile you need one connection. Then only, okay, then only the electricity will be passed, right? Sir, no, it means we are having two things. Okay, from one technology to another technology we have to transform the data. To do that we need some connection. Those will be called as data connectivity mode. What is that? What is that? Connectivity. Okay, we will be having the data connectivity. We are having some data connectivity modes in the Power BI. Okay, so the data connectivity mode very very important. Okay, without having the question in interview, there is no any one interview. What are the data connectivity modes, you know? And I mean, simply they will ask you which one connectivity mode you have been used in your current organization, in your current project. They will ask like that. It means you should know you should know about this. Okay, whatever the connectivity modes in Power BI is there. So what is connectivity mode? First of all, what is connectivity? So the connectivity mode is when you're gathering the data into the Power BI, you have to connect to the data source from the Power BI. Okay, why? To get the data for the Power BI, right? So if you need to collect the data, if you need to get the data into the Power BI from the different data sources, we need to use data connectivity. Okay, we're having three types of data connectivity modes are there. What are those? We're having three types of connectivity modes are, which are import mode and direct query mode, live connection mode. See, online students are getting or not? Online students, can you hear me? Hello, please respond, guys.
Yes, we are getting you.
Yeah. If anyone did not get, if anyone did not understand, means if anyone doubts is there, okay, please try asking. Okay, please don't be
Yeah,
silent. Okay, yeah. I hope everyone getting. Okay, but if anyone did not get did not understand, means please ask me. Okay, okay, fine. So we are having three
yes,
connectivity
sure, sure,
modes,
sure.
yeah, which are import mode, direct query mode, live connection mode. Okay, we are having these connectivity modes. So now, what is these connectivity modes? Why these connectivity modes are there? To connect with the data sources, we do have connectivity modes, right? Okay, so that will be calling as a connectivity mode. So we are having that import mode, okay, direct query mode, as well as live connection mode. Okay, so what is import mode, what is direct query mode, okay, what is live connection mode? If you observe that we are having some data in the data source, okay, I told you that whether the database or flat files, whether it is the cloud or anything, whatever the data has been stored in the data sources. Okay, these are the data sources, but we are having the technology in Power BI. We need to make the reports, we have to create the visualizations in Power BI itself only. It means with the help of this data only we can make it, right? So it means we have to get the data into the Power BI, right? Okay, how it is? By making a connection, which means data connectivity, which is data connectivity, which is import data, import mode, okay, direct query mode and live connection mode. Clear, everyone? So now we're having three connectivity modes. Why would you have three connectivity modes? See, we can connect the data, okay, with the help of data connectivity mode. See, why can't we use only import mode? Yes or no? So why we are having three types of connectivity modes? If we are having only one thing, means we can connect, right? Then why we are having three? That we will see that. Okay, why? Because each and every connectivity mode will be having a specific character itself. Okay, it means, so the import mode is there. For example, we are having that import connectivity mode, right? So if you observe that what is exactly the import connectivity mode, okay, what we can do while we are using that import connectivity mode, okay, what we can't do, what are the advantages are there, what are disadvantages are there, okay, these are all things we have to know. It's very very important concept. Why? Because if you guys are clear with these components, then only you are able to work with Power BI. Why? Because if you want to connect import the data into Power BI, you should know this. You will get a picture end of the session why I'm saying this. Okay, okay, so now, so now import mode. Okay, what is import mode? See, whenever I'm discussing about the import connectivity mode, it's very very important thing. Okay, mostly using data connectivity mode in Power BI. Okay, import connectivity mode. So what is import connectivity mode? So the selected tables and the columns are imported into the Power BI. Okay, whatever the data is there in the I mean in the data source, whatever the table is there, okay, in that table, okay, whatever the columns you have been selected, it means the required data, the required amount of the data, or else the entire table you can import, or I mean you can get that into that Power BI internal memory. Okay, so as you create, why we need to import that? To create interactive visualizations. Okay, why I'm saying that interactive visualizations means whatever the visuals you are going to making in your Power BI, each and every visual will be having a interaction between them. Okay, so the Power BI desktop uses, okay, the imported data. who are the using that Power BI desktop, they can import the data. Okay. Now, apart from that, sorry. So whatever the metadata on the body of the table, the data will be inside the Power BI. So what is mean by metadata? Can anyone please? Anyone know that metadata? What is mean by metadata? It's a simple thing. Okay. See, the metadata means the data about the data. It means the information about the data. For example, now where I mean, now where I mean, see this file address, where it is, in this PC, in this desktop, in Harsha Trainings, Power BI batches, batch 7 a.m. demo. Now this is my file. Okay. Now this is my metadata. What is mean by metadata? The information about the data. It means the data about a data will be called as a metadata. Okay, the data about the data called metadata. Okay, whatever the metadata, okay, or about the data. Okay, whatever the metadata and the body of the table, the data, okay, will be inside the Power BI. If you are using that import mode, okay, whatever the data you have been selected from the data source, the entire data will be in your coming to in your Power BI desktop itself. It means in Power BI internal memory it will be storing that, it will be comes to that in Power BI desktop. Okay, and now okay, so one more thing you have to know here, there is one restriction while you are using that, there is one restriction while you are using that import connectivity mode. What it is exactly is, if you observe the third point, okay, third point, try to observe that there is some restriction of the data size that is up to 1 GB only you can import the data into the Power BI services, sorry, Power BI desktop. It means the data size up to 1 GB of data only you can import that into Power BI. Okay, and one more thing, when you are using that only, I mean the drawback or the disadvantage of the import mode only is the data size. Okay, only is the data size. Now there is some restriction. What is the data size? Up to 1 GB of the data only you can use, I mean you can import into your Power BI desktop. Okay, and now one more thing, when you whenever you choose to use import mode, okay, while you're working with the, while you selected that import mode, so you are able to work with all the views. We are having three views are available, okay, which is report view, data view, or the table view. We are having that model view. So you are able to work with these three views, whatever the views are available in your Power BI desktop itself. Okay. It means if you are working with, if you are using that import mode, whatever you want you can make. It means whatever you want you can do in Power BI desktop. Okay, now whenever you choose to import, I mean we discussed it, okay, it supports all the DAX functions. It supports, it's a very very good I mean an important thing it is. Okay, why? Because so if you are having a data, we should need to do some calculations. Okay, to do that we should need some DAX functions. Okay, it supports all the DAX functions while you are using that import, I mean while you are using that import mode. Okay, so you can write all the DAX functions, you can make all the calculated columns, you can make all the new measures, whatever you want you can do when you're working with import mode. But only the disadvantage is the data size, it is a restriction up to 1 GB only. Okay, but if you are having that more than 1 GB, means what we will do, we'll see that in next slide. Okay, no need to worry. So now so what exactly we need to know is, when you choose to use that import mode, okay, you are creating a copy of the data source into Power BI itself. It means, why I'm saying that is, whatever the data is there in data source, this all the data we are going to importing that into Power BI service, Power BI desktop, right? What is mean by that? you're copying this into Power BI. Okay, clear. So the example for the import mode. Okay, whether you have been the data is there in Excel, a SQL Server, a CSV, wherever the data is there. It means you can work with multiple data sources. Okay, you can work with multiple data sources. Clear everyone? What exactly the import mode? Anyone doubts in this? Anyone doubts? Please respond. I'm asking in online students. Anyone?
Yeah, no doubts.
So everyone clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So now, so we have seen that what exactly the import mode. Okay, and now we have to discuss something about the direct query mode. Okay, what exactly the direct query mode? So the direct query mode also one of the data connectivity mode available. Okay, so it will be used to, okay, it will be used to get the data from the data source. Okay, you can use this or get the data from the data sources. Okay, but why we are having the direct query mode? See, I told you that more than 1 GB we can't get the data from that while you are using that import connectivity mode. But if the data is more than 1 GB, then what we have to do? We can go and use the direct query mode. Okay, we can go and use direct query mode. Why? Because when I'm using the direct query mode, okay, you are not going to importing the data into Power BI. Means you're not importing the data into Power BI, just you are going to making a connection between them. It means you are going to establishing a connection between the data source and the Power BI. Okay, it means so the data is not importing into that Power BI itself, right? The data is not importing into Power BI desktop. It means the data will be there in the data source only, but the data will be connected to the Power BI. Still, you are able to make any one report. It means the data is not completely coming to in your Power BI. It means it is not storing into your Power BI. The data will be there in data source only. Did you got my point? Okay, so but you are able to view all the data, you are able to do all things, but only some restrictions are there if you are using that. If you are using that, so the direct query mode means, so there is no, see, no data is importing or the no data is copying into Power BI desktop. It means there is no restriction of the data. Okay, and one more thing, there is no restriction of the data. It means you can work with unlimited data size. Okay, you can work with unlimited of data size. Okay, the data from the data source you can get, you can connect with your wherever the data has been stored. Okay, you can work with that whatever the size it is. Okay, so now when you're choosing to use this mode, okay, you are creating a connection to the data source, and then only you are getting the data, and from there only you can get the data. Okay, from there only. It means, for example, my data is there from the SQL. Okay, my data is there in Excel. Okay, my data is there in MySQL. Okay, so in this case, I can use only a single data source, whether it is MySQL, okay, whether it is MySQL, whether it is SQL, whether it is Excel. If I selected one data source, which is SQL, I can get the data from there only. Okay, but in import mode, I can work with multiple data sources. For example, I'm having 5 tables. Those 5 tables having in multiple data sources. I can get those data sources into Power BI. It means I can use multiple data sources, but in this I can use a single data source. Okay, so you cannot use multiple data sources, whereas I told you that, and it will not support all the DAX functions. Okay, it will not support to all the DAX functions. Okay, so the examples we are having, one type of DAX function is there, which is time intelligent functions. Okay, so those time intelligent, in those for time intelligent functions will not work while you are working with direct query mode. But the time intelligence functions are very very important to the Power BI. If you need to do any calculations, you should having one at least one to two time intelligent functions, at least. Okay, okay, fine. So for that we are having that example for direct query mode is SQL Server. Okay, SQL Server is example for that. So while you're trying to connect with the data source, it will be asking that data connectivity whether you want to connect with the import or direct query mode. Okay, but whenever you're connecting with flat files, Excel, CSV, it will not ask that. When you're connecting with SQL only, it will be asking that how you need to connect up, whether you need to connect with your import mode or direct query mode. Okay, is that clear, everyone? Okay, now we have to see that live connection mode. Okay, what is that live connection mode? Live connection mode and direct query mode both are similar. Okay, but the live connection mode, what we can do, what we can't do, we are going to see that. Okay, so the data is connecting directly to the source. Okay, I mean it means we are, if we are working with Power BI, okay, to the directly to the data source, we are going to connecting that. Okay, so no Power Query in live connection. It means you cannot edit your data. Okay, so we know what is Power Query. What is Power Query? You can do data preparation. If you are doing the data preparation, means what is mean by that? Going to editing the data. Here, what is mean by that? Okay, you can't edit your data means no Power Query editor. Okay, it means no Power Query editor in your live connection means you are unable to do anything about the data. Okay, and you cannot do edit your relationships. That means you cannot do edit your relationships means already the data has been prepared. Just you need to do visualizations only. That is mean by that. Okay, so you cannot write all functions. Cannot write all functions and all. Okay, you cannot write all the functions. The same thing they are saying that. Okay, so you cannot add the calculated columns and all. Okay, this is simply about the live connection mode. Clear, everyone? Clear, guys? Okay, anyone doubts in these three? Okay, very very important question in interviews. Whatever the things we discussed here so far, okay, if you're perfect in these concepts, you can clear your first round of technical interview. Mostly these questions only will be asking in interviews. Okay, if they are checking your basic level of knowledge, okay, about you, they will be asking this: what is data source? What are the connectivity modes are there? What are the components you know? What is Power Query editor? These are all things they will be asking you. If you then, if they don't know, I mean, if they know, they need to know about your basic knowledge in Power BI. Okay, so then only they move forward to ask the questions based on your basic knowledge. They will be asking the questions. It means if you guys are clear with the basic knowledge, okay, you are able to clear the first technical round of interview. Clear, everyone? Clear, right? That's all about for today. Okay, and the class will be continues tomorrow. Okay, will be discuss rest of the things to tomorrow class. Okay, now see, actually tomorrow or day after tomorrow we are going to uh, work with Power BI practically. Okay, why? Because we should know about something basic knowledge. Okay, then only we will move forward. Clear, everyone? Okay, so that's all about for today.
Sir,
Thank you for joining and being here. Yes, please.
sir, we will discuss
And
about Excel, CVS files, SQL Service, MySQL, Azure, and Oracle.
yes,
Okay, sir.
what are those means? Those are will call as data sources.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Then what is it? Yeah. Okay. See, if anyone did not enroll the course, means please try to enroll the course. Okay. So and whatever the things we did discuss here, all the all the basic concepts and all, we will be uploading in your Google Classroom. Okay. And if you need to get the access for the recording, please keep silence. Class is going on, right? Okay, if you're having anything here, okay, if you need to get the access from that institute, you will be able to get an access once you enroll the course, then only you are able to get that. Okay, so if you need to get access of the recording sessions and all, if you need to get this Google Classroom These all accesses you have to be enrolled. Okay, if anyone did not enroll means please try to enroll your course here. Okay, all the documents will be uploading, all the recording sessions will be uploading. Okay, so clear. So that's all about for today. Thanks for joining everyone. Bye bye, we'll meet you tomorrow. Clear. Bye.